Team Alagna is no stranger to success with pacing colts. This year, Fallout has all ears and eyes open as he leads a talented group in the glamour division. Can the son of Captaintreacherous give his connections a 3-year-old season full of top honors? Listen as Tony talks about his expectations in 2025.
Tony, it's always nice to catch up with you here in the spring, right? We're coming to you, of course, to talk about Fallout. What a nice little colt you have on your hands.
Yeah, you know, he's come back very well. We sent him to Patty Hogan's clinic to do the turnout and the layup, so he was here close to us. He came in 1st of January, looked phenomenal, and he's really grown, developed, all the things you'd want to see from 2 to 3, and just really happy with how he's training back.
We won the Metro last year with Fallout, so he's coming back, as you know, as a 3-year-old.
Now, speaking of Fallout, that's, of course, what brings you here.
Yep.
We're at Tony's farm in New Jersey. He trained today. How did he look?
He looked great. He looked awesome. He has really come back strong.
Last year, 4 wins and 11 starts, showed signs of greatness, a lot of speed, all the way from Kentucky to Canada. Take us through that 2-year-old year.
Yeah, you know, he was a horse that, we started him out because of his size, would stay to the big tracks, even though he was, Pennsylvania and dual eligible with Kentucky. And you could just tell he was a horse that was just going to start to get better and better. Because of his size, I find a lot of time those horses need a few starts under their belt before they really start to get into their groove, and there's no better place in Kentucky for a horse like that because they have a consistent schedule. They go 9 days, 10 days, 11 days, so it gives them a little chance to absorb the work in between their starts. And right about that time, we talked to Robert and Robbie, and we decided that it was probably best to take him to Canada because he was so versatile, handy, and I thought that switching him to aluminums and going to the limestone, it was really going to finish him out the way we needed to be, and it was the right move.
You get a great 2-year-old colt, right? And then last year, that's a great division of 2-year-old colts we have, and we saw it battle their way all the way out to that Breeders' Crown Final.
Absolutely. It was a great bunch of colts, and like I say, he did a lot of work in the Breeders' Crown Final, and next short of winning it, and it probably cost him divisional honors, and but that being said, there was no disgrace to finish 3rd to those colts, and especially the way he did it. And we made a decision to put him away early. We toyed with going to kindergarten. I actually even entered him, and we scratched him and decided we wanted to give him the extra time while the weather was good so we could have him back in early and be ready. So we were on our toes for the North American Cup.
I know a big belief for you is put him away good, and you're going to bring him out good, right?
100%.
Trained today, how was he?
He trained great today. Robert hasn't got to see him all winter, and this is the first he's seen him, and I think he was even shocked on how much he's grown up and developed. And he was a big horse last year, but he's just got that extra finish that you look, from 2 to 3, and, we couldn't be more excited about how he's coming back.
That Breeders' Crown Final, it was a nail biter, right? Just
It was. Yeah, we lost by a neck, and we had to cut the mile out of the 8-hole. And, Timmy said, if we had been reversed and we were following, he goes, we would have won that race. So we were really, really pleased with the way he raced, and he dug in the stretch.
Speaking of Robert LeBlanc, now when you get an owner, you guys matched up about just going on 10 years now. What a great run it's been, and what a fun guy to have in the business.
Absolutely. Not many times a guy can win the Little Brown Jug, the Metro, and the Hambletonian all in the same year. So, I started just giving him 5% of everything I own, try to get some of the luck to come my way.
Well, when you're a senior VP at IBM, you say, hey, can you bring me some of that this way?
Absolutely.
And it's been just a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it's been great, and with Robbie Pride, he's only been with us for a few years, and, he's had some nice horses, and him and Robert hooked up on some, so, hopefully we can keep the streak going.
What is so great about owning Standardbreds?
Well, I enjoy going to the sale, getting that book, a month before the sale and going through, and I've learned a lot about pedigree, through a lot of people in the business. People like Myron Bell taught me a lot about pedigree. Tony is great at confirmation. David Anderson, one of my partners actually on Captain Barbosa, he's a breeder himself of horses, and he great at pedigree, so I learned from them. I just watched what they say, how they say it. I asked lots and lots of questions. You always ask questions. I say to people, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask a question, because that's how you learn.
We talk about that jump. I ask everybody about it, that jump from 2 to 3. It's a tough one. Fallout, though, he looks good. He's built for it. Not too big, not too small. big things for him?
He's probably, I had Captain Luke as well. Captain Luke and this horse have probably remind me the most of Captain. And, we've trained a lot of Captain colts, as you know. We always support our horses. But he reminds me as much of Captain of anything I've had. His mannerisms, his demeanor, the way he is in the barn, on the track. And, I think he's a horse that, with his size and the way he takes care of himself, he'll be able to handle the battles.
Really, really fun colt to watch.
He is. He really is. And he never gives up. Like when a horse comes up beside him, he does not want to give up. So I think he's better off a helmet, but he's won a couple races in the front. He won in Lexington, the International, when he went and won 48 and 1. And that was all in the front end. And he got in the stretch. Timmy never even touched him, just sat there, and he just opened up. So this colt's got a lot of talent.
Tony, it's always nice to catch up with you. Before I let you go, sad passing of your mom this year. I think, though, she's going to be watching over you in 2025. It's going to be a good year for you.
Absolutely. I think, it's a tough loss. Everybody knows how close my mom and I were, but, I know she's watching over us, and believe me, if I do something wrong, she's going to let me know.
Tony, it's always good to see that smile. We're going to wish you the best of luck, hopefully first of many this year in 2025.
Sounds great. Look forward to seeing you on the road.
Thank you.
I'm awfully glad I won.
The Hamiltonian, it's one of the most prestigious races.
It's quite a thrill. This is one of the biggest thrills of my life.
We delivered. The horse delivered. It was amazing. I can't believe it.
I am stunned. I'm absolutely stunned.
This is obviously the pinnacle.
Just something that I can't explain.
This is just an absolute dream come true.
It feels good now, but I'm sure it's going to feel even better tomorrow.
For me to do it, this is my moment.
I might have got a little excited.